Hello Internet and welcome to another episode of Automotive Karnage. In today's episode we changed the K-frame on the $500 LS1. Have you changed the K-frame? Because I sure haven't. Okay, so right here in the workshop at work, we gotta make this little thing here, which isn't actually that little, fit underneath all of this. So the plan of attack is to support the engine with an engine hoist, obviously get this car up as high as we can, and then we're going to drop everything out from underneath. That way we don't have to completely remove this engine and gearbox. The plan with this car now, I actually have no need for it with all the other projects that are going on, so we're just getting this into a running and driving state so that we can then sell it on to the next person so they can finish it off. So the other good thing about this is we only have one day to do it. So today's video is going to be pretty fast forwardy and missing a bit. I'll try and inform you of what we're doing as we go. I'll try to anyway. So welcome to the underside of the VY. So starting from that bolt there, which holds the part of the lower control arm in, we need to undo all of that. Then you got this front bar that goes across, undo a few little bolts here that hold some lines in. Oh, it's gone dark. And then again at this end, same thing on this side. We need to take this lower control arm out. So we're going to drop the suspension first, push it out of the way. Then we're going to get rid of all this miscellaneous stuff at the front here. And along the back, you can just see the power steering rack. Now that's what's actually wrong with this, is that it is cracked. And it's been ripped right out. Let me just get down here. And you can see, so that part there is actually meant to be on the other side of this hole here. All welded in nice and straight. So for some reason, I guess from the lowered suspension, they've hit a speed bump at some good speed. Clipped the power steering rack and just ripped it right out. So we'll pop that off and hopefully we can just sit that to the side. We will have to find some new power steering lines. Where are they? In here somewhere, because they've all been ripped out as well. So we'll check that out once we get the frame out of the way. This looks like it should be fairly simple, but those are famous last words, aren't they? So let's start with all this suspension. Get that out of the way. So I'm going to carry on working here, but we've got one side of the suspension already undone. If you want to go have a look, that's all ready to go on the driver's side. So I've had to disconnect the steering rack over here. We've disconnected the lower control arm that goes into the back of the K-frame. We've disconnected the sway bar link. And we've disconnected the front lower control arm, where it goes into on the front of the K-frame. That all came undone fairly easy. Took a little bit of jiggling to get it out of the actual rubbers. And so now we're just going on to the other side and we're doing exactly the same thing. Welcome back to Under the Car. This is proving to be a lot easier than anticipated, so I'm actually chuffed at the moment. So, update. Power steering rack is all disconnected. It's just hanging by the actual rod down from steering wheel into the rack. Suspension on that side is all undone. Suspension on that side is all undone. The engine mounts, I've undone those, so the engine's just sitting in there. So what we're up to now is we need to, up here, we need to support the weight of the engine, so that we can undo the 4 bolts for the actual K-frame itself and then drop it out. So this is the interesting part, because with the engine supported, I don't really want to get under there because I don't want the engine to fall on me, but I need to get under there to undo all the bolts. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay, there we go. The engine crane is now supporting the weight of the engine. And so now we've just got 4 bolts left to go and to actually drop the frame. So let's grab it out. So there we go, we have the K-frame out. That was good. We had a little bit of a problem there where we couldn't find an 18mm socket. I don't have any in my toolbox, and I spent 40 minutes trying to find one around all those different work sites. So, but once we got that, it was an easy job. Got it out. There's a few of the power steering lines that I didn't quite see were actually bolted down and twisted in and around the sway bar. There's actually not much room in these engine bays, which is quite surprising. Everything to do with the steering rack and the power steering, it's all very squashed in around the motor. So this is it though, this is the part that we're replacing it for. If you come have a look on the back, you can see on this side you've got where the power steering rack mounts to, it's all welded in. And on this side it's just been completely and utterly ripped out. How the previous owner managed to do that is absolutely amazing, really. I do not know. So anyway, I'll bring the new one over. So this one's actually from a VZ, which is a later model than the VY, but it's all pretty much same. So all we've got to do is change over our power steering lines, our sway bar, pull it onto the new frame, and then we can do everything we've just done, but in reverse. So let's do that. Alright, so we've come out to our local wrecking yard and we've come in to find the power steering low pressure line. In the accident, it's appeared to have been ripped out and it's actually been split into 2 pieces. So we've got a few different cars to choose from here, so let's go for a wander and see what we can find. Alright, so there's plenty of them around, GT to VZs, but we want the ones that are already upside down. And that just makes our job so much easier. There we go, we've got power steering rack on here. Ah, the lines are different. What are we on? That's a VT. And the lines go into the back of the power steering rack, so we can't use a V6 rack. Bummer. So, there are no V8 racks. We'll just check that one over there to confirm. Look, there's a rack on a rack. Already been pulled out. So this is the line. Oh, here we go. This is the one we need. It's not clunked up at all. Okay, so 19mm into the actual power steering rack. It's bolted from this side, which means that that's facing towards the front of the car. Is there anything else on this rack that we want to take? No, we just want this line. Alright, so we get some tools and we've found what we want. Ah, there we go. Yep, that's still clear. Alright, let's go put it in the car. Alright, there we go. That is a new K-frame in place. That was going to be what I thought would be the hardest part of the job, was getting it up while lining it all up with everything, but it went quite smoothly. It's definitely a two-person job. Don't go trying to do this by yourself. So next thing, now we just got everything in reverse like I said before. So suspension, power steering, suspension on that side, and then we might actually be able to drive this properly. So I'm going to focus on that power steering at the back first, because that's going to be the most difficult, and then we'll work our way forwards to each of the struts. Cool. Everything that we undid is now put back together. Let's give this car some juice and see if we actually have full range of steering actuation. It's late in the day and my words are mucked up and I don't care. Red first, black next. Turn gear, see what happens. I heard something leak. Might have a power steering leak already. Steering feels good though, that's the main thing. Speeds go from lock to lock. Yep. Look at this, look at this. Put your camera on top of that. Alright, as we turn, that pokes out. So whoever put the lowering springs in, didn't put them in properly. Alright, let's put on some wheels, get on the ground, let's go for a drive. Oh yeah! Alright, so there we go. That is a K-frame successfully installed in one day. Absolutely chuffed about that, as I've never done it before, and we like to challenge ourselves here. So, it's all ready for its next owner. Everything's all sorted now. It runs, it drives. No, it's not very legal, but that's for the next person to do. We've just done the hard work. They've just got to make it look pretty. So thanks again to my wonderful wife who helped me on that day. Couldn't have done it without her. And we'll see you next time. So please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next project. If it's not this one, because I actually kind of like this car now. I got too many already, but we're going to try and get down on them. We're going down on the cars. We don't need this many.
We're not keeping this one.
So what you want to do is you want to take one of these, connect it to your left nipple, and one of these connect to the other nipple.